Hey guys, I'm back with another action figure review, and this time we're going to take a look at the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Daredevil figure that came out with the Spider-Man Legends wave, released, I guess, last month, February of 2015. And so I'm getting into these reviews now, and I decided I wanted to do Daredevil first, because he's kind of the odd man out in this wave. The rest of the figures are actually Spider-Man characters, Spider Family characters, whatever you want to call them. And so I figured I'd start with Daredevil because I do like this figure, and I figured he belonged either first or last, and in the pecking order. So got started with him. So before we jump on in, and I just had him in this I had him in this pose, like sitting waiting to be reviewed. So I figured put him on a little flight stand that's way too short, but yeah, that's what I had him in, so he won't be staying like this. But I will pull him out for a second so we can take a look at the packaging. Pop this over here. And here we go. So it's the packaging that we're now getting pretty used to with these Legends. And this Spider-Man series so far, including the previous wave, have been red. This packaging started with the Captain America wave and then the Amazing Spider-Man 2 wave, and Cap was blue, Spider-Man's red. So they're sticking with the red for Spider-Man, which makes sense. And so you have just, the window packaging with the artwork and all that. Now we have a Spider-Man, a spider web, like, in the backdrop, and I don't recall that being on the first series. No, actually I'm lying. I have one behind me. It was. I have a mint on card Superior Spider-Man that does have it, so yay me for noticing. But anyway, so we have the Spiderweb logo in the back, and that's not a logo, whatever, you know what I mean. And then up top, for Daredevil, it just says Marvel, because the rest of them say Marvel Spider-Man. But again, since he is not a Spider-Man character per se, he gets just the Marvel logo up top. And then on the bottom, we have Marvel Legends Infinite Series, Daredevil, Hasbro, etc. You have artwork on the side, and then on the back, you get a nice shot of the figure. And a little read up here. If you want to read it, you can pause. What I also found interesting here was that the packaging is in various languages. It looks like 4 languages. I think English, French, Spanish, and I guess Portuguese? I don't know. But, yes. I don't think the previous ones had that. No, see, the previous ones had just English. So, interesting. I don't know if this case came from, like, another country or something, because I ordered my case from dorksidetoys.com, and I've never ordered a full case of Legends before this. I'd only purchased individual figures from, like, either Target in person or online, Amazon, etc. So maybe it's just different when you buy, like, a full case from some, like, a retailer like that, online retailer. So yes, so shot of the figure. Now in this picture, I don't know if you can really see on camera, he looks like he's almost going to be like a dark, like, nice metallic red, and then like a lighter red. Not quite. I wish, but not quite. And then at the bottom you have the rest of the wave: Spider-Man, Anti-Venom, Spider-Man 2099, MC2 Spider-Girl, Ultimate Spider-Woman, and Daredevil himself. And then you have the Hobgoblin Build-A-Figure. So I've rambled a bit too much for 4 minutes worth of talking. Before I get into the figure, I just want to show his Build-A-Figure piece. I do believe it was that's a left arm. I already put my Hobgoblin together except for the head because I still cannot get it on. I'm going to try boiling it and seeing if that helps. But he came with this left arm, which is, okay, an arm. And it came with a glowy pumpkin bomb, which is pretty cool. And I'll obviously be reviewing this separately when the rest of the figures have been reviewed. And hopefully he'll have a head by then. So, let's move on to Daredevil. Get him standing up here. So he is, as everyone already knows, a, you know, just another figure on the Bucky Cap mold. It's a little wobbly here, sorry. I'm out of practice. I guess I should move this down a little bit for you. So he's just straight up Bucky Cap without, like, the boot cuffs and cuffs on his arm. Does he have cuffs? Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, Bucky has boot cuffs and I think gloves that go, like, out. But anyway, so, you know, we've seen this body like a million times by now, including his tiny little feet. I still just bug me. I don't know why. But I think, you know, it suits Daredevil. I think it's probably the best, you know, body that a Daredevil figure has been on. I don't own any other Marvel Legends Daredevil figures to compare this one to. This is my first one, and I'm pretty happy with it for that. But if I had to pick, like, a previous one, if this guy wasn't coming out and I was in the market for a Daredevil figure, I probably would have gone with the Nemesis Wave, which was kind of a more slender build, and he had that tall crotch piece that was kind of weird looking. Or I think Urban Legends Daredevil, which has the big bald shoulders, which I'd never liked either. So I do really like this build for Daredevil. I think it works. If anything, I don't know, maybe he should be a little slimmer, but I think this is fine. And it looks pretty good. The paint is interesting. Now this is opposite of this is opposite of the Nemesis Wave. It's the opposite of most previous Daredevil figures. His body suit is a darker red, and the boots, gloves, baton holder, and belt and Daredevil logo are a lighter red, which I think works because you kind of, if this had been flipped around, you'd be really overwhelmed with, like, a really bright red for the most part, and then the rest, you know, the rest of it's just, like, little pieces that are dark. So I kind of like that they did that. Off the top of my head, I can't recall if, like, in the comics it's one way or the other, or if it's really just kind of one solid red. But I think it looks good. The paintwork itself is a little I can see some chipping on the gloves here. I don't know if you can with the light. These are fine because it was molded in this color. It's for the most part okay because I think only the gauntlets, which don't really look like gauntlets because they're just painted on, are painted, and then the chest symbol. Chest symbol's not sculpted at all, which is a little bit of a bummer considering past ones had been. But it looks okay. He does have a hole in his back because Bucky Cap had the shield. So you can, I think I watched someone else's review and they said it doesn't fit a flight stand, but I'm not sure about that. If it does, that would be cool because you can kind of have him in the pose that, like, I had him in the beginning, and stick a flight stand in his back. I should probably talk about his accessories. I usually do those first. He does have the two batons, as you can see. They are white. He's very wobbly. Just putting that out there, I don't remember this when I opened him. I, like, opened these figures all at once and played with them for a little while, and then didn't review them right away, and now I'm reviewing him and I'm realizing, like, he's, like, really loose, and, like, but in a weird way, not like, this joint's not loose, like, in a particular, I don't know, he's just wobbly. I'm gonna put him down for a sec. He does have his batons. Now, they're white, they are very bendy, and there's no string, because they do stick together to form a, what is this called? It's like a short version of a bow staff, and it has a name that Todd told me because he knows all these things, and I don't. He'll kill me for this. But I can't remember the name. It's a hanbo? Is it a hanbo? I think that's what it's called. Okay, anyway, so it does form this. Now, the way you would pose him with this, and I asked Todd about this as well, I was like, well, what good is, like, a hanbo? Like, what do you do with it? And he was like, well, you can, like, hold the ends and use it to block or something, and I was like, okay, let me try that. So that's kind of cool, whatever. So get his hands, like, up to hold it somehow. Fine. Have it in one hand like this, and then have him hold it with the other one. But it's like literally impossible to get him to hold it like this without it, excuse me, without it like bending. So you can see here, like literally, it's just like, it's curved, which obviously wouldn't happen in real life because it wouldn't be made out of flexible rubber. So I'm not sure about this whole Hanbo thing working because it's just too bendy. And for that same reason, it's a little difficult to just get them even like in his hands or in his like whatever this thing is called, baton holder. I don't know, it's a little too flexible. I mean, it's better, I guess. I don't know why they chose to do this than like a hard plastic, but, and they're also pretty, they look big on his, like this. When he's holding them, it's okay, but in here, this whole thing is big. They're kind of big. Yeah. I don't know. It's not horrible, but I don't know. Previous figures did have like a string to hold them because that's typically what Daredevil does have. He has like 2 batons attached with a stick, which makes him a little more different than Nightwing. But yeah, they're okay, and they fit in his thing fine, and they're just very bendy. Whee! So I'll put those aside and we'll look at him again. So now, one thing I really, really, really like about this figure, other than, you know, it's a decent figure, is the head sculpt. They did a really good job with this. I think he's got enough of it, like an angry looking face, but not too angry, and paint looks pretty good. The hair, the horns are like a good size. Sculpt is good on the face and everything. You can see kind of like his ear bumps. On this one, it's really good. You can see like the literal like outline of his ear and like where the lobe would be in the inside of his ear. And then this one's just got like a big chunk of plastic. Rude. But yeah. So I do really like the head sculpt. I think it's one of the best for sure for Daredevil. But the rest is just, you know, like molded red plastic, like nothing to write home about. So I'll just go through articulation, which I'm sure you know anyway, but his head will go up really far and down because it is, as you can see, on a ball jointed disc. So I'll go left, right, tilt, and around, and all that jazz. He has the ratchety shoulder joints that will go around and up and down. They'll go like up that far. He's got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, the twist and hinge at the wrist. He's got one hand that is like this. It's like just a regular like gripping hand for his batons, and then this one is a trigger finger for some dumb reason. I mean, I guess it's from Bucky Cap, and he had a trigger finger, but you can just give him another hand. He would just needed 2 of this hand, really. I mean, you know, he'll hold his baton, but it just looks a little silly that his finger is separated from the rest. I might, like, I'm going to be heating up some figures anyway. When I do it, I might try to just kind of bend this closer in so it doesn't look so goofy. But yeah, so he has an ab crunch, which goes forward and back, not too far back, surprisingly. He has the twist at the waist. He's got the T-jointed hips, go about that far, forward and backish, with a cut at the upper thigh, double jointed knees, a boot swivel, and the fabulous Hasbro rocker ankles with the hinge. So your typical Bucky Cap articulation again. And yeah. So he's, you know, nothing crazy special, super great, but I think, you know, he's a good figure, and I'm glad they did put this out here because I didn't have a Daredevil figure. And you know, like I said, I was, you know, I would have considered, you know, the Nemesis Wave or the maybe the Urban Legends, but I didn't love them either, and that's why I never really jumped on them, because it's not like they were super cheap either. You know, the cheapest one is the Spider-Man Classics one, which is like not any good. So I'm glad to have this guy, and with the new Daredevil show coming out, you know, it's everybody is going to want a Daredevil in their collection, so I'm just sitting here trying to get him to stand up as I finish my review. Oh my god. So, yes. I'm looking so forward to that show, by the way. It's going to be awesome. Awesome! So, I believe that concludes my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Daredevil from the Spider-Man wave of February 2015. I sound so happy, I think. I'm happy to be filming reviews again. So, I should be uploading this one tonight, which is Saturday, March 7th. And then, hopefully uploading one a day or every other day this week of the rest of this Spider-Man series. And then after that, I'm not sure exactly what will be up next, but I have plenty to review and other videos in mind. So stay tuned, and wish me luck getting my Hobgoblin head on so I can get that going too. So I will see you guys in the next review. Not sure which figure exactly yet, but from this wave for sure. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.